In fourth grade, Leona had a friend, a best friend in this case. Her name was Dolly. Dolly and Leona always played on the playground after school together, as their parents gossiped back and forth with one another. Dolly had brunette hair with a button nose, freckles from head to toe, and fair, pale, light skin. As they ran around the playground, playing tag and jumping rope, Leona's mind would sometimes wish she could look like her. Police sirens and ambulance lights echoed in the distance. Then all the kids started talking. Leona looked in confusion, wondering why all the kids stopped and stared in the distance. Dolly too gets distracted and wonders what's happening like the other kids are. Leona then walks over to Dolly, thinking she's done something wrong for not overreacting. The kids start to lose interest in the situation. Then the two girls go back to playing with each other. The next day, Leona skips into her class, and all the students turn and whisper to each other and look back and forth towards her. Leona, confused, skips over to her classmate. Leona pounces over to Dolly sitting in the corner of the classroom. Leona is now furious at Dolly for talking about her behind her back. Dolly shoves her slightly. She shoves her once more, but with brute force. The whole class starts to laugh and points at Leona as she becomes frozen in embarrassment. Leona couldn't move. Why was everyone laughing? The emptiness inside her began to somehow seep out and plug her ears. Their laughs became muffled at her. Did she do something wrong? As Leona stood there, and their faces became blurred. "I'm sorry," she says faintly, as tears seem to drown her face by the tears in her eyes. Everything seemed back to normal in an instant, besides the crying child in the corner. Leona's sitting there in disbelief. Do they not know what happened? Yes, they were all there. Maybe it was me. I said I was sorry. Was that enough? Maybe they didn't mean it. No, that's not true. They meant it. I know they did. Leona then goes home early and tells her mom about what happened. Her mom, Erica, proceeds to explain how kids are mean sometimes, and there's nothing to be worried about. She talks about how she's one of the only black girls in her school, and that makes her feel different. Then she continues to explain how she passed out because she said sorry, but nobody seemed to care, and she was completely overwhelmed in her emotions. Her mother then comforts her and takes her to her bed to rest with her favorite stuffed animal to help her feel safe and sound. Now, back at school, all of the classmates who laughed the other day, faces are still blurred, almost like she still had the foggy tears in her eyes. Leona tried to talk to Dolly, but gets ignored and laughed at again. For the rest of the day, she's alone, confused, and blamed. Over the next few years in school, Leona develops a sense of overthinking and anxiety. More and more faces are being blurred. She has no friends because she's different and everyone thinks she's rude or sassy. She constantly is being ignored and talked about every day. Her thoughts are slowly getting to her and making her over-examinations into reality. Leona is bothered by them, but still, The person she puts down the most is herself. Now she's in 5th grade and slowly starts to straighten her 4C hair, talk differently, and gains new interests to fit in. Leonna slowly starts to try to fit in by wearing the trendy clothes. She slowly turns into someone she doesn't want to be, continuously questioning every move in the process. Her fear and anxiety creeping up behind her constantly and doing it perfectly. Things in her neighborhood are starting to get rowdy with her neighbors yelling, waking her up late at night, and such. She hears booms and crackles and cars going over the speed limit outside her window. Every day being reminded she's hiding herself in her vanilla-flavored coated lips and her scrunchies on her left wrist. As Leonna gets into middle school, everyone starts slowly developing into themselves. She almost breaks out of the persona she's tried to keep up for all of these years and started to embrace her skin, her button nose, and her full lips. Leonna was slowly developing into the girl. She evaluated how she was treated when she was younger and how she let her imagination run wild in ways she did not want it to. She begins to let go of those past memories, and over time, the blurred faces become crystal clear. She wanted to be.